Hey there, welcome back to Leafspace. I'm Monica with a K, bringing you once again into the Draft Combine in Toronto. This is really where the action is. All the prospects are here, about 100 of them, and of course all the scouts and GMs from around the NHL. Now in 2002, it was the first time that Leafs TV brought you Behind the Draft, and that was a big year for the Leafs. In fact, the Leafs drafted some of your current favorites. Can you think of them? Stajan, Steen, not with the Leafs anymore, but also Ian White. So let's take a look back at 2002 Behind the Draft.
Sometimes we're over-impressed with people who are big and can skate.
Yeah. So Upshaw drops off, and he goes back in.
Like I'd take May ahead of Newberry because you still got 2 years of school. And you can't afford to make too many mistakes. If you have some bad drafts, it'll back up on you in a hurry. What the aim is to have them in good locations across the country where they'd be accessible to travel, airports, and also to cover the various leagues. And the priorities for us in the leagues are Canadian Hockey League, which is broken down into 3 leagues, the Quebec Major Junior League, Ontario, the Western Hockey League, and of course the NCAA, which in turn is broken down into 4 leagues with the Hockey East, ECAC, Central Collegiate, and the Western College Hockey League. So we have a guy, Bob Johnson, living in Quebec in the Montreal suburbs, so that his location gives him access to the Quebec League and parts of Eastern Ontario to cover junior hockey. And he's very accessible to the Eastern Seaboard to go down and cover the ECAC and the Hockey East.
Okay, now, Bob, you went to see him specifically.
Yep.
And what was your feeling on him?
I agree with George. The skating is average.
Yeah.
But his upside, his skills, and his hockey sense compensates.
All right, so you don't see him sliding way down the ladder.
I would be very surprised.
What size?
Size is no. He's around 6'1", I think, or 6'2".
6'2", 183. Sometimes we're over-impressed with people who are big and can skate.
Yeah.
That's
Very
true.
much so.
And he fits in that category. I never saw him play. I just know that
You're right.
sometimes we jump just because the guy is 6'5" and he can skate. Boy,
That's right.
George Armstrong, it's a big part of it. He likes to be actively involved, and he basically stays in around Ontario. He stays in from London, Kitchener, Barrie, Mississauga, Brampton, St. Mike's, Oshawa, Peterborough, etc. And he does all the provincial junior A for us, and he does a very good job at it. We've recently hired a new director of amateur scouting, Barry Trapp, who is not a stranger to people in hockey. He's been around for many years. We've always kind of worked off, just take the best player. If you've spent all that time rating the players according to their ability, don't jump. You can today, you can, between the agents and the players, I mean, you can figure out here pretty well, who's going where. And if you've got a good group of people on the road that have worked a couple of 100 days a year, seen anywhere from 150 to 200 games, if you are stumbling around on the 22nd of June still trying to figure out who your pick is, you're in the wrong business.
With the 24th pick in this year's draft, Toronto selects from Baska Frölunda, the Swedish Elite League, Alexander Steen.
Alexander Steen has not only, in addition to quality character, and we had the good fortune of interviewing him prior to the draft, but developing in Frölunda in Sweden, being the son of a former professional hockey player who played for 14 years, he understands the game very well. He's a center iceman that has incredible skill, and his playmaking ability is second to none. So we're very excited about him and as a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I got to hang out in the dressing rooms with guys like Solani and Zhamnov and Kachuk, and it was just a big experience, I guess, for me. And that's, I guess, when I knew I really wanted it, when I got older. You know how big that last step is, and a lot of people don't realize how big it is. It's pretty big, actually, and I've always been the son to a big hockey player, so I had a little bit of pressure, but I'm going to take my time, go back home, and work hard, and we'll see how far that gets me.
Feel pretty good, huh, Dad? It's nice to see your own flesh and blood. But it's all uphill, and that's where it goes. Mind you, it's a good day. It's the best day of your hockey life today. Because you'll have some downtime.
Toronto selects from Belleville, the Ontario Hockey League, Matt Stajan.
Matt Stajan, I've watched closely as a minor. I have a son that played against Matt and grew up in the Toronto area, and he was a very good player there. But just within the last 2 years, I think his rapid growth of development has impressed everyone. He's an incredibly defensive-minded player that can score and set up plays as well. As a member of the Belleville Bulls, playing on that big ice surface, it's not easy to do. And our scouts, again, watched him very closely and recommended him highly. And surprisingly, we didn't interview Matt. And I think it's a function of many people in our organization knew enough about him and talked to Belleville and Jim Halton, and we have a pretty good feel for his progress at this point.
Well, I'm very excited. Grew up watching the Leafs from Mississauga, always going to games, so it was great. Couldn't ask for anything more, and it's like a dream come true. And the main goal is to make the team one day, and that's what I'm working for right now, so it's an honor.
Phil Waters.
Phil Waters, congratulations. Welcome.
Key tackle. Congratulations.